of Management Studies, IGNOU presents an audiobook on the course Mmpc 017 Advanced Strategic Management for MBA program. Presenting Block 3 International Strategy, Unit 6 Internationalization Process, Part 1.
Objectives. After reading this unit, you will be able to explain the process of internationalization, describe various stages of internationalization, discuss the operating advantages and disadvantages of MNCs, and understand the importance of various models of internationalization. Introduction. The new era of industrialization and supportive government policies resulted in expansion of boundaries and horizon of the companies. The aim of every firm is to move towards internationalization. Therefore, it becomes important to understand the process of internationalization. Internationalization is termed to be a process where business organizations gets involved in international markets. Most of the business houses in contemporary world initiate their operations domestically, and as they grow and start expanding, they slowly internationalize, resulting in thinning boundaries and changing landscapes. This unit aims to help you explain the process of internationalization and the reasons for internationalization, describe the various stages and phases of internationalization, discuss the operating advantages and disadvantages of MNCs, and understand the importance of various models of internationalization. Reasons for internationalization. Internationalization for most of the businesses availability of a large but dynamic market involving severe competition. Reasons for internationalization are many and vary from organization to organization. Most of the organizations internationalize due to inadequate domestic market to achieve economies of scale and to avail multiple opportunities available in the international markets. Most of the organizations expand to new economies after becoming successful, as internationalization is often used to reduce the cost of operations. Business with high overhead costs tend to cut down the costs that have deflated currencies and lower the input cost, especially labor cost. Firms intending to internationalize look for countries with low cost of living, which leads to low manpower cost and ultimately cheaper cost of production, thereby giving a financial advantage to the firm. Let us now understand the broad reasons for internationalization in brief. Diversification. It is entering into new and sometimes related industry for the growth and profitability of the business. Types of diversification include A. Enter into new business or industry. B. Vertical integration involves a firm moving into the new part of the value chain network. C. Mergers and acquisitions. D. Enter into new industries without the involvement of another firm. Economies of scale. Business organizations tends to expand globally and enter into trading internationally in order to achieve economies of scale when they enter into bigger international market from smaller domestic market. Depending upon the suitability, business may differentiate its brand, service, or patented product and exploit a unique advantage. Focus in such case is usually to enhance the business opportunity to such unique product by customizing it for the foreign country. International trade provides opportunities for the business to achieve economies of scale by taking up opportunities which provides better growth opportunities, especially by entering into bigger markets with higher demand for its products when compared to its domestic market. Firms may seek to exploit its differentiating advantage, product, brand, or service with minor changes to suit the local markets of the host country. Government incentives. Some governments encourage foreign investment, thus providing incentives to the firms who wants to invest directly through building manufacturing capabilities in the host country and also through institutional investment, which provides business opportunities and enhances profits. Market growth. Expanding globally will increase profitability and expand business of the firm. The firm gets opportunity of increasing the size of the market, thereby increasing number of customers. Joint venture opportunities. International business provides opportunity to enter into business through joint ventures. The firm gets immediate access to a large customer base and distribution capabilities to reach them and also gets opportunity to share knowledge and technology. Stages of internationalization. Most companies pass through different stages of internationalization. There are, of course, many firms which have international business since the beginning, including 100% export-oriented firms. Even in the case of many of the 100% export-oriented firms, the development of their international business would pass through different stages of evolution. A firm which is entirely domestic in its activities normally passes through different stages of internationalization before it becomes a truly global one. There are many firms which enthusiastically and systematically go international as part of their corporate plan. However, in the case of many firms, the initial attitude towards international business is passive and they get into international business in response to some external stimuli. A firm may start exports on an experimental basis, and if the results are satisfying in due course, it would establish offices, branches, or subsidiaries or joint ventures abroad. The expansion process may also be characterized by increasing the product mix and the number of market segments, market and countries of operation. In this process, the company could be expected to become multinational and finally global. Many experts have given different views on stages of internationalization. For our understanding, we will consider the following stages of internationalization. There are basically 5 stages of internationalization, and these are: Stage 1, domestic operations; Stage 2, foreign operations, export; Stage 3, joint venture or subsidiaries; Stage 4, multinational operations; Stage 5, transnational operations. In short, in many firms, overseas business initially starts with a low degree of commitment or involvement, but they gradually develop a global outlook and embark upon overseas business in a big way. Stage 1, domestic operations. The firm is said to have a domestic market if it purely confines its operation in the home country. Most of the international firms initiate their operations as domestic firms. Most of the international firms originated initially as domestic firms. Domestic firms usually have ethnocentric orientation because at the very initial stage they do not consider going international as an option for its growth. The firm continues with its national model of operation for some time, and when the growth gets stagnated, it expands and diversifies to new markets within the home country instead of focusing on the international markets. However, the diminishing prospects in the domestic market and increased opportunities in the international markets encourage the firm to redevelop and fine-tune its strategies to explore international market opportunities, and the firm moves to the next level in the evolution and market its products to foreign markets, thought suitable internationalization technique, direct exports, franchise and licensing. Stage 2, foreign operations, export. In this stage, the firm expands its market through sales efforts and the production done in the domestic market. Firms expands its markets to other countries through sales effort and retail the production facilities in the domestic market. For examples, Indian firms export nuts, spices, textiles, jute and rice all around the world. Domestic firms, being ethnocentric, start its internationalization by initially involving in just exporting goods to the foreign countries which has high demand. Stage 3, joint ventures or subsidiaries. Subsidiaries or joint ventures are the business agreements in which firm physically transfers some of its operations out of its home country and establishes in a foreign country. The firm in this agreement goes for a mutual cost and profit sharing and management involved with a firm which is existing in the host country. Firm then moves from international operations being in the home country to investment expansions in the foreign country, moves to a stage from international to multinational and transnational firms. Stage 4, multinational operations. In this stage, a firm becomes a full-fledged multinational corporation MNC with multiple production facilities established across the several locations in the world. An international firm demands a greater degree of decentralization in decision making, though important decisions in this system is always taken at corporate headquarters. These firms operate worldwide, and the orientation of the firm shifts from ethnocentric to polycentric. A multinational firm decides to respond to market differences, social, cultural, and legal requirements and evolve as a stage 3 MNC which pursues a multi-domestic strategy. In MNCs, each foreign subsidiary is managed as an independent entity. The subsidiaries are a part of regional structure in which every country has its own organization and reports to world headquarters. Stage 5, transnational operations. Firms which achieve global efficiency and local responsiveness are called as transnational firms. These firms are highly decentralized in terms of decision making. Every transnational business unit has freedom to take its decision with very minimal control from corporate headquarters. However, there is no pure transnational firm, and these firms satisfy the characteristics of the global corporation. Operating advantages and disadvantages of MNCs. Multinational corporations MNCs by themselves have a couple of distinctive pros and cons with respect to their operations which differentiate them from firms which operate domestically. Some of the firms have the capability to internationalize efficiently and overcome disadvantages and capitalize on the internal advantages to a larger extent as suitable to the type of individual corporations and the type of business involved. A. Operational advantages of MNCs. Superior technical know-how. Improved technical knowledge is the most important advantage MNCs enjoy. These firms have access to better technology, either self-developed or acquired by the firm in the areas of management, operations, and production. First, large size and economies of scale. MNCs being very large in size have the advantage of economies of scale. Volume of production reduces per unit fixed cost and ultimately reduces the cost of production, making the product more competitive and easily saleable in the market. This situation is specifically true in capital-intensive sectors like steel, petrochemical, and automobile. Second, lower input costs due to large size. Multinationals, as a result of large production levels, purchase raw materials in bulk and thus able to bargain with the suppliers for a lesser price and also obtain substantial amount of price advantage as a result of bulk buying. Third, ability to access raw materials overseas. MNCs are capable of reducing production cost by reducing input costs through procuring raw material from countries where they are abundantly and cheaply available. Fourth, ability to access raw materials overseas. MNCs are capable of shifting their production to other countries and thus enhance their international competitiveness. Fifth, economies of scale for shipment, distribution, and promotion costs. MNCs attain lower cost for shipment, distribution, and promotion as they deal with large volume of freight. Because of sizable amount of business, these firms are in a position to negotiate for lower rates with the service providers. Large corporations, especially firm dealings with petroleum, justify purchase of their ownership due to the huge transport requirements they have. Therefore, they are not in a position to depend on third-party service providers and show self-owned transport as an effective method to reduce cost. Large volume of production also leads to lower promotion and distribution costs. These organizations charge lower tariffs for distribution across countries and still make profits as a part of large scale operations. MNCs also get ads for a lower tariff as they have huge ad spend budget, which helps in lowering their accrued cost of promotions and advertisements. Sixth, brand image and goodwill. Many of the MNCs possess product lines that have established a good reputation for quality, performance, value, and service. This reputation spreads abroad through exports and promotion, which adds to an MNC's arsenal of potent weapons in the form of brand image or goodwill, which it is able to use to differentiate its own products from others in its genre. MNCs are able to leverage this goodwill or brand image by standardizing their product lines in different countries and achieving economies of scale. For example, PlayStations do not have any special modifications for different countries except for voltage, and the home based plant churns out standardized products for the world market. Access to low cost financing. MNCs are large scale organizations and require large amount which they procure from the financial institutions at comparatively lower rates. They borrow huge money at lower rates because banks find them more dependable in terms of lending and recovery of the debts. Low cost of capital also adds to the financial strength of these organizations. Financial flexibility. MNCs can shift their manufacturing facility and profits to low tax locations, have an advantage of shifting their profits to low tax locations. This financial leverage is used by MNCs to lower the cost of manufacturing and reduce price of the produce, directly benefiting the end user. This transfer of manufacturing facility to low-cost location also helps the firm to enter into new markets and increase market share of existing ones. Information advantages. MNCs, as an outcome of operating in various international locations, tend to have in-depth knowledge of markets worldwide, which enables them to collect, process, analyze, and exploit global resources. They have knowledge to explore new market openings for existing products and new products to meet current and potential market requirements. MNCs are capable of expanding and diversifying market coverage of the products they manufacture and accordingly design strategies to counter marketing efforts. Availability of information about changing market and economic condition, demographics, social changes, and other business environment factors as a result of their information networks makes them more efficient and can appropriately respond to contingencies and exploit opportunities. Ability to offset risk as a result of diversification. MNCs are simultaneously present in different countries, which permits them to efficiently bear risk emerging out of cyclic economic declines. Generally, these cycles are country specific and not the same in all the countries at one point of time. Thus, losses in one country can be offset by gains in other countries. B. Operational disadvantages of MNCs. Business risk. MNCs come across serious unforeseen risk than the firms which are entirely domestic in nature. This is because they carry out business in multiple countries. These firms deal with foreign exchange, and as a result, the biggest risk they face is fluctuation in foreign exchange, which directly affect their profit margins. Regulations in the host country. MNCs, while operating in different countries, face difficulties due to varied regulations in different host countries. In many cases, these regulations vary significantly from country to country. MNCs face tough tasks in understanding and familiarizing themselves with varied and dynamic regulations of different countries. Adhering to these regulations require modification in its operations to ensure that it does not overstep them. Different legal systems. MNCs are bound to operate under the different legal systems of different countries. Some countries have very cumbersome legislative and judicial processes and may contain certain nuances which are not easily understood by non-natives. Some legislation may prohibit certain business operations which are otherwise very normal in the home country. Political risks. Political risks as a result of change in government and other factors are inevitable for the MNCs. Host countries being sovereign entities and their actions normally may not admit any appeals. Political risk is usually high in the countries where government is unstable and tends to change frequently. Operational difficulties. Multinational corporations operate in varied business environment which create lots of substantial operational hurdles. Market conventions and business practices which are not clearly written and mentioned might prevail in the host country, and MNCs may lack familiarity with such conventions, and thus conducting business in the host country may appear difficult in accordance to them. Sometimes methods of operation in the host country may be quite contrary when compared to the home country of MNCs. Cultural differences. MNCs also face difficulties as a result of the cultural differences, and many a times their expatriate executives are not able to perform well as they are not able to calibrate professionally and personally to the new culture of the host country. Inability to understand and respond appropriately to local culture may often lead to product failures and problems in dealing with business associates, government officials, and local customers.
You were listening to the audiobook by the School of Management Studies IGNOU for MBA program. Course code Mmpc 016 International Business Management. Course Coordinator Professor G. Subayama. Voiceover by Chitra. Edited by Ashok Sharma. Program assisted by Tarannum Jahan and Jagbandhu Jana. Program produced by Dr. Manoj Kumar Singh. This program was brought to you by Electronic Media Production Center of Indira Gandhi National Open University.